realms of their countries in Africa, sectors like energy still have less representation of women in their leadership, management, or technical roles. According to the World Bank, women globally account for just 22% to 25% of total employees in the power sector, and a low proportion work in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics roles, also known as STEM. Take, for example, here in East Africa, a Power Africa assessment found that only 19% and 21% of formal positions in the energy sector are held by women in Rwanda and Kenya, respectively. But what if women held more positions in the energy sector? Well, the EY Women in Power and Utilities report shows that energy boards with at least 30% women have had higher profit margins than those that don't. So joining us now is Elsie Mbugua, the founder and CEO of Elsie Investments and Leadwood Energy. She also sits on the board of Kenya Pipeline Company. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell me, over the last 25 years of your career, have you seen this trend of women being in leadership positions in the energy sector gradually changing?
No, thank you so much for having me on. It's a real honor. And I think it might be helpful for me to give my perspective based on my experience. And certainly as my time during being a trader on Wall Street, I would be a handful of females on the entire trading floor, and very often the only one in a revenue generating position. And I reflect back, with humor now on numerous occasions where I would be the lead trader leading a multi-million-dollar transaction, walk into a boardroom and quickly realize that my clients, who are all male, had mistaken me for the tea girl or the girl that hangs the. Now, in those situations, you have a decision to make. You sit down. You first make one hella cup of tea or coffee, and then proceed to sit at the top of the board table. And what I will say is that in those situations, it would open a window for some of the most phenomenal negotiating opportunities. And lucky for me, I would be on the winning side of those. I think second, in other cases, I think it has meant leading from the back, putting my ego in check, not correcting male bias when my junior male employee is mistaken for being my superior, and instead focusing on what the job at hand is. The job at hand is finding a solution for your client. It is closing that transaction or that trade.
Right. So looking less at your gender and more at what it is you actually have to offer on the table. But during these uncertain times, how would you say that women in the energy space are making a difference right now?
No, so I think we can't speak about change without, I think, recognizing that, we have made great strides. I think right now we are certainly seeing a lot more women in positions of power, and both in the business world and in politics as well. I think here, what we've currently been seeing at the moment is that right here in Kenya, the board of the Energy State Corporation's Kenya Pipeline, which I sit on as the chair of the technical committee, and the board of utility for Kenya Power are both now chaired by women. The managing director of the largest energy producer, KenGen, is also led by a woman. Now, these positions of influence in our country, this would have been unprecedented even 5 years ago. So we are making great strides on that front.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And now we scanned the whole internet so you don't have to. Here's a summary in too long, didn't read. Japanese billionaire Yusaku Maezawa has invited 8 members of the public to join him for a trip